Hi there. My name is Louise Weatherhead, and you're listening to the IR Olof's Globetrotters podcast. Today we're doing a special three-part episode on South African moms in the Netherlands in celebration of Mother's Day. This is part 3, and joining me today are my colleagues at IR Olof's Globetrotters, Jessica Liebenberg and Alzaan van Dijk. We also have a special guest, Shantae Lindis, who is an administrator of the highly popular Facebook group South African Moms in the Netherlands. We hope you enjoy the podcast.
I've got a question. It's one that South Africans might get wrong, and even the Dutch don't know. If your child is born here in the Netherlands, parents are South Africans, is the child a Dutch citizen or a SA national?
That's a very good question.
They are still South Africans. Yeah, they still have to apply for a birth certificate from your gemeente. When your husband, after day 3 or on day 3 of the child being born, your husband has to go in full faith to go and register the name at the gemeente and be like, and then phone you 1,000 times to make sure that that's the spelling. Because yes. But then you register the name of your child and when it was born. Then you also take that birth certificate that will arrive in the fully functional postage system, come in a letter, and then you take that to your embassy, South African embassy, and then you register. And then you'll get the South African passport.
Yeah, you register the birth there and you apply for a South African passport, and that can take some time to arrive.
Look, I did a renewal for my son's passport, and we went there in November, and we've just received it last week. So I don't know how many months is that? 4, 5 months. It fluctuates. You gotta take a chance.
But yeah, so they are, helaas, not Dutchies. That's okay.
Do they get the citizenship as soon as you transfer?
You apply for it. They get it, but they don't have to do, for example, the language lessons, the cultural lessons. They are growing up here. That's taken into consideration, etc. So they don't have to do that, but you still need to apply on their behalf, as far as I understand, for their.
Okay, but the fact that you qualify does make them qualify as well. Then basically,
your little one will now get a verblijfsvergunning as well, so their own verblijfsvergunning. So when you guys travel, remember to take the passports and the verblijfsvergunning for everybody.
Your passport is basically your travel document, right? So a lot of the moms also ask, like, can I just travel using my residence card? Rather just don't chance it. Your passport is your travel document, so just take your passport. You're good.
So guys, I want to know a little bit about the medicine on that side. I have to constantly remind myself that that Netherlands is a first world country, right? And I'm sure that the medicine we will get there would be not the same, but similar to what we get here. So I actively need to stop myself going to the pharmacy, being like, oh, I need kids' Buscopan, and I need this, and I need that, you know.
And I need 12 bottles of each.
I know, right? So maybe you guys can put me a little bit at ease. How is the medicine on that side for kids?
Yeah, as a whole, I think the Netherlands healthcare system is very much based on let your body's immune system get stronger. And if your body's immune system is telling you just need rest, then sometimes 2 days of rest actually just does the trick. And the doctors time and time again just say, listen to your body. And it's not that they're lazy, it's just that they have seen, like, some countries do overprescribe medicine and do it very quickly, whereas it's very scary for incoming moms to be like, my huisarts is not wanting to give me medicine right now, you know. And it's taken me 5.5 years of petrifying moments sometimes to have that trust, but it does come. It honestly does come. You have to, if it is serious enough, and the main thing is you've just got to keep a track of everything that's happening with your little one. When your little one is born, keep a little logbook of everything that's happened, and when you go to the doctor and you be like, here's what's going on. It's they do give medicine when medicine is granted. So there's a lot of memes and videos and everything that say paracetamol is the only thing you're gonna get. But yes, they're very funny. I have had moments of that, but it is funny. But when there is medicine that is needed, like the serious stuff, they do give it. Okay, so don't stress about it.
They will prescribe an antibiotic if it is needed, if there's an infection or whatever. It's not like they will expect your child to get better if they've got, like, let's say, an infection without antibiotics and things like that.
No, with children, they're very, very, very careful. They have so in the Netherlands, you've got it works differently to South Africa. So in the Netherlands, you've got your normal huisarts that you are registered at. Your huisarts office hours are from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you need to see them and speak to them over the phone during those hours. If it's something that happens after hours, then you need to speak to the huisarts and post. So that's simplified is like your emergency line, emergency number, emergency place to go for medical care. So if something drastic happens over the weekend, like my husband pulled a husband situation like he does, he went and did renovations without a shoe on. Like, who does that? I mean, anyway, so he ended up cutting his foot open, as you do when you're not wearing shoes. So he had a significant cut on his foot, and immediately doctors were like, bring him in, give him antibiotics, put all the everything. They threw the whole kitchen sink at him almost. Like, he was helped in a heartbeat. And they do the same for children. When my young one was very small, and I mean, I'm here, it's just me and my husband. We don't have any family here. So when one of my children are ill, especially when they're in a small space, like, it's a little bit overwhelming and terrifying because you don't have your mom or your granny or your aunt or your sister just there to be like, nee, moenie worry nie, dis wat ons gaan nou goed doen. So then that's when you call the huisarts in post and you explain to them, and if it's serious enough, you pull right through and they see them immediately. So it's an adjustment in terms of, you don't get the same kind of office hours or specialists that you can just see at the drop of a hat because you just pay to see them. There is a process here, but the process does work. So.
But yeah, just the quality of life here for the kids is much different. I mean, it's a silly example, but it makes me think of what my parents talked about when they were growing up. It was a sunny day. One of the few. And I was outside and I was cleaning the tiles because there was moss from all the rain and etc. So keep your house nice and tidy. Scraping away the moss. The neighbor was washing her windows, and the neighbor next door was weeding the garden. And all the kids were playing outside in the street, in the park, across the street, going crazy. We just told them, be careful of the cars. It's a quiet road, it's one-way road. Just be careful. Don't get too close to the water. Don't get close to the swans, etc. And they were having a ball all the time. And suddenly I didn't know where my daughter was. And I freaked out for a minute. And there she was at the end of the street with her scooter because she just decided it was fun to go with her scooter all the way down. And then she came back again. And in South Africa, that panic. Oh my gosh. I don't have that here. I mean, it's always good to be safe and be prepared and think logically about stuff. But there's not that continual anxiety. I mean, we about 2 years ago, we went back to South Africa to visit family, and we took our daughter with, and I was just an ball of anxiety. I had paranoia. It freaked me out. We borrowed my mom. We drove around my mom's car. It's a baby Gero, so it's a 2-door 4-seater. So we put the baby seat in the back, but you have to like climb into this thing and you're completely blind to your back. So anything can happen while you're just trying to get your child in or out the car seat. I would scope the area, parking lots, make sure there's nobody close by. I would park the car and then scope again, get out of the car, scope again, and then dive into the car, get her out as quickly as possible, scope again, make sure the car was locked. I would close it, and then I'd pull on all the car door handles so there's nobody like. There's all these fancy tricks these guys do now to get into your car while you're. And then it doesn't stop there. Then it's in the trolley, then it's in the supermarket, and you're just everybody. You're smiling and you're acting normal, but you're viewing everybody as a potential criminal that wants to nab your kid, and it's exhausting
because it's on a subconscious level the whole time that you're there for the visit. And only when you're back here do you realize, when you lift that, like, you don't have to constantly be, if somebody walks too close to you, you don't have to be like tensed up and, worried. It is very much a subconscious stress in every South African's life. And all of the people that I've come across that have moved over here to the Netherlands have all said, like, it takes a while for them just to feel that subconscious stress, like, leave their shoulders, leave them.
I don't know. I've done it a couple of times now where I'm like, because I put my house keys on my car keys, and I am searching through the whole house. I can't find the car keys. What the hell did I do with the car keys? And then my brain would be, where's the last time you used it? I'm like, the front door. Open the front door. The front door keys are in the front door. I'm like, maybe not the very best thing,
But you can do that and nothing will happen. We've also had it in our street where Francois and I, my husband and I, left our front door open because we had two small children that were probably going crazy that day. And so we got them in the car and we just left. And a while later, my overbuurman, the neighbor across the road, sent me a WhatsApp message on my front door open. She's like, did you mean to do this? You haven't seen you in a while. Like, when are you coming back? It's like, yes, please close that for me. We're actually an hour away. So yeah, no, it's safe.
But that'll definitely be something to get used to for me as well. I mean, I don't allow my children to go out of the gate at all. I don't even like taking them to the shopping mall with me to just go and buy a couple of things, some groceries or so, because each and every day here in South Africa, you hear about kids that are being stolen, that are being kidnapped, and it's so scary. Like, I feel it's going to take quite some time to kind of get used to the fact that my kids are now safe, and they are able to go and play with their friends, and they are able to play in the streets like we used to do when we were kids. So yeah, thanks for sharing your story, guys. Like, that's something I was stressing about as well.
Look, it's not to say that the Netherlands is the rainbow nation of sunshine and unicorns and everything.
but it's low.
Yes, compared. Absolutely.
But overwhelmingly, like, neighborhoods are like suburbs. What we would call suburbs here in the Netherlands are very kids friendly. There is this acknowledgement of, yes, people have small houses. People probably won't have yards. Let's make the park something accessible and maintain it and keep it clean, and it's friendly and it's nice. We like park hop, like we're tired of this park. We played on all the things to do there. Now let's go to the next one. And jump on the bike and go. And cycling with Lizzie is actually such a joy. She loves it. We've got little kid seats at the back, and then we just drive everywhere.
You don't have a buck feet.
No, I don't have a buck feet, because those things, you need some skills to be able to drive it.
Like that, I feel like that's a whole new level of buck feet.
You're gonna have so much fun.
You get two versions. It's the one with the three wheels that it looks like the ice cream salesman that's always used to stop in front of the schools, that kind of setup. And then you get those sleek ones that are two wheels, but then the buck is like balanced.
I've got one of those. But they're better around corners.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my husband didn't use it for children when we had the three. Yeah, we've had some adventures, let's just say. And we went around the corner, he went around the corner, and the three-wheeled one just went whoopsie daisies. So the two-wheel one is good for corners, if anybody wants that.
And there's a lot of corners, tight turns and stuff. So you want one that's good on corners.
But it's also very nice to see that when the kids start cycling on their own, the parents still cycled their kids to school. Yeah. So you'll see the parent on their bike with their suit or whatnot on, with their hand on the back of their kid who's cycling next to them.
And the child is wearing the helmet, and no adults are wearing any helmets anywhere.
But it's so nice to see. And then the parents teach the kids, okay, this is how you use the bell, this is when you use it, this is how to indicate, put your arm out to signal when you're cycling in the road, etc.
And they've also got the bicycle tests. I think
the diploma.
Yes. Yeah. So they all know how to ride on the roads. Nobody.
And how to read the road signs.
Yeah.
So will Hayley need to do a bicycle test before she's able to drive on the road?
No, she'll probably just be able to do it, but part of the school curriculum is like completing a fietsdiploma, where they teach you how to properly navigate the road as a fietser. Yeah.
We're actually, Lizzie's turning 4 on Thursday, and we're going to buy her first bike. And I told this to our directors, like, it's a little bike with little training wheels. She's like, but she's 4. Why does she need training wheels? She's like, your daughter had a balance bike, right? I'm like, yeah? No, she doesn't need training wheels. Just let her go. She should be fine. Yeah. She learns how to balance on the balance bike. Yeah. The Dutch have a different view of like things. I mean, I probably only learned how to ride a bike when I was 5.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I had my training wheels up until 7, 8. You know, like I didn't do it bare bicycle without the training wheels.
Yeah, I mean, we had a video of one of our Globetrotters. He and his wife were coming over, and he had to teach her how to ride a bike. So they were practicing an essay on bikes, so she gets used to, because you might need to learn how to ride a bike.
Wasn't there that YouTube video a few years ago?
Yes, about the au pair, the girl that was going to become au pair in the Netherlands. Like, it's like she drove right into a rugby post on the school field.
I know, that's good.
Out of all the space she could have had.
Well, guys, you're making me feel shy now, because I mean, the last time the most times that I'm actually riding a bike is in the gym, right? So
you'll be fine.
And it's flat. There's no hills, but there's wind.
No, that's a lie. There are artificial hills. Those can be really tough. So prep yourself for it, especially if you're on a bicycle that doesn't have gears. Then, oh my gosh, you're praying up that hill the whole time. And then you gotta hope there's no wind from
that's where electrical bikes are your friend.
Oh, yeah.
What a pleasure.
Yeah. You get bakfietsen with that are electric, which are great. I would like that. But you also get electric bikes that are safe for putting kid seats on, because that was my concern. I always wanted to make sure that the kid's not sitting on the battery, you know. Should something happen. But you get like the ones that have the battery on the main frame, the front. There are so many mama fiets modellen, and you get these little seats for when they're still tight, when they've just learned to sit upright and can hold their necks up. You put it at the steering wheel at the front with a little shield in front of it. It is the cutest thing ever to see daddy or mommy cycling with their little one in front, and they're loving it with their helmet on. And they've got like front view seat of everything.
And that's also the best because that's when they fall asleep as well. Because the rhythm of the yeah.
Okay.
And then you just see you just feel the bike start tilting this way. It's very cute. You'll
Isn't it
still
difficult to kind of balance when you've got a little human on, behind you or in front of you that beweegt, that moves.
No, they don't beweeg that much. Because they're strapped in they're pretty in a tight space. They don't go jiggly wiggly and then they're not fastened properly. Yes. I mean, you strap the feet in everything. And when they're that small, the center of gravity is so close to you. It doesn't. When they get bigger, you can get seats, and then it's basically just teaching them if we're gonna turn, you have to try and like turn and me, etc. But when they're that small, it's not.
Would probably be for them to please just sit still while mommy is driving this bicycle.
It sits still while mommy's not on the bike when it's standing free, because otherwise Lizzie's fallen over while in the, because she's like wiggling, like, wow! And then she's upset at me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
What's also frightening though is when the wind blows so hard in February. Like January, February wind, not so much fun. That's when cycling is tricky.
Also, like the black ice, because you don't see it on the road, on the pavements, and then suddenly you the wheel just goes.
Yeah. But for context as well, for the moms listening, it's like we talk a lot about cycling as walking everywhere, but that's because like the Dutch culture is very much like you live where you do everything essentially. So like your huisarts that you register at, it will be right there around the corner. The grocery shops within walking distance, and your school for your child, passes school or whatever, will also be within walking distance. So it's very much like a walk to school and walk to the shops and cycle if you need to. It's very much that type of mindset.
Yeah, cycling is just much more convenient.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are neighborhoods where, for example, in the rural areas where things are maybe a little bit spaced out a little bit more. But then there are buses, and yeah, there are solutions to it. You don't have to always cycle. Buses and trams and.
I had a friend come over from America. She stayed here for about 8 months, and she was like so confused at this whole system. She's like, well, how do I cycle? In America, we just drive, and there's none of this parallel parking business. Your car is big, so you just drive in to where you need to be, and then you drive out. There's no parallel parking, no cycling happening. You drive to a mall, you park your car, you do what you need to do, and then you drive home.
You might need to learn and brush up on your parallel parking skills, because if you're going to be driving in Utrecht or Amsterdam, because you park next to the canals, and there's no like barrier there. It's literally if you turn too sharply, you are in the canal, and it happened.
I must say, I don't drive in Amsterdam.
Don't drive in Amsterdam. Take a train.
Just don't do that.
How is the public transport with the kids though?
Great. As I have it, they can use it for free.
It's free up until they're 4, and then they get their own personalized one, and then it's subsidied heavily, because then kids can then use it for school or whatever as well, and then up until they're 18. Yeah. Also, medical aid is free for the kids. They get their medical aid through your medical aid. So you still register the kids up to the age of 18, yeah.
But there is a nuance there, like for instance with orthopedics, not orthopedics, with the orthodontist, excuse me. If you anticipate that your child is going to need braces in the future, take out the orthodontics plus package, just like a year or so earlier than you expect it to happen, because they do need. I've seen that on the moms group. One mom was she was super frustrated. She was like, but my child needs braces, and then it has to have a waiting period.
Basic medical aid is compulsory for everyone, and it's I think 130 euros.
Now you can go onto a website called Independer. It's like the Hippo of South Africa. Yeah, it's very, very nifty. And then you tell it exactly what you're wanting, so the search filters, and then it gives you 5, 6 different comparisons that you can look at, and just filter it towards your family.
Very, very nice. And you also apply via them.
Yeah, so all the medical aids have the same standard package, which they're required to offer by law, and the law dictates how much that should cost. And then they offer additional packages on top of that, depending on your needs. And another thing is that they're similar to in South Africa, like you've got doctors that are affiliated with certain medical aids. It's the same thing here. So certain medical aids have a wider coverage of doctors in places. So that's also, it's also things to consider. Some people don't work in certain areas, I think. So it's all things that you need to consider as well. For your kraamzorg, also you need to make sure that the kraamzorg that you choose or want is affiliated with your medical aid that you use, etc.
So how long do you have to actually get a medical aid once you land there? Like, is it you have a week to be registered, or a month, or?
No, you first need your BSN. You can't get medical aid before you have your BSN. And then you get billed retroactively for the months since you arrive.
Yeah, on the day that you step onto Dutch soil, that's when your medical aid should kick in. But you can only arrange it a few days, weeks afterwards. So then they bill you retrospectively.
Yeah. But I think there's a maximum period of 6 months. Yeah, you need to do it within 6 months of landing here. But I mean, obviously do it as soon as possible. Be smart, you know. But also, I mean, you don't want to need to go to a hospital or something, and then there's questions surrounding a medical. They won't refuse you treatment, but you don't want that headache in between everything. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So I think we've covered quite a lot today. We have also published an ebook called Wanna Go Dutch that covers the entire relocation process. Obviously, we couldn't get into all the detailed things because each person's circumstance is unique, but we've tried to cover some of the more generic or talking points that have most or is important to everybody coming over. And in there, we also talk about a budget, what things that you need to take into consideration. For example, the medical aid, how far back it gets billed, etc. We cover all these details as well, toll hall, etc. So if you guys are interested, it is available on Amazon, and we do encourage you also to join the group South African Moms in the Netherlands, because it's the Thora of knowledge available at your fingertips. Everybody is eager to help with their own personal stories and experience. It's not just textbook, this is this. They will actually give you real life feedback.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having me with you on this little chat. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, we wish you ladies all a wonderful Mother's Day.
Happy Mom's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
To all our wonderful moms out there, stay strong, hey? And all the moms traveling from SA to NL, just keep it one day at a time, one thing at a time, right? Don't get overwhelmed. Everything will be okay.
We hope you enjoyed listening to part 3 of our special podcast episode, South African Moms in the Netherlands. Be sure not to miss part 1 and 2. Wishing all moms, and soon-to-be moms, a happy Mother's Day from all of us at IR Olof's Globetrotters. To learn more about IR Olof's Globetrotters and how you too could move to the Netherlands with your family, be sure to visit our website at www.thenextglobetrotter.co.za.